Hey everybody, this is Derek, aka No One. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. And this is going to be my first in the series of true crime stories and reacting to them. Now, just to let you guys know why, because I think I said something like it's my guilty pleasure, but here's the thing: it's not really a pleasure. Not when you're witnessing um, horrible people doing horrible things on innocent people. For me, it's the psychology of it. There was a time where I did a lot of research on a lot of different serial killers. I've always been fascinated on psychology. If if I would have like been a student, if I would have finished like high school and then went to college, I probably would have loved to have taken a course in psychology, um, maybe even criminal psychology. I would love to be like a FBI profiler or something like that. But for anybody who knows my a little bit of like my upbringing, I quit high school when I was 15. Then I was homeless when I was 16, and I was on drugs until about 18. And um, I wound up getting my GED like around 23, I think. And I've never done any other courses or classes or anything like that ever since, But anyways, I've always been fascinated with. I've always been very psychologically analytical. I can't even talk. Analytical. um, and so when I watch true crime stories, and especially when it's dealing with the perpetrator, I I'm fascinated with the psychology of it. So, like with this first one that I'm gonna do, this is off of the Red Tree Crime YouTube channel. And this one is Sunday school teacher realizes she's going to death row. Now, I chose this one first. There was quite a bit. First of all, there was one that I wanted to do that was on the A&E channel, but I don't know like how they are when it comes to copyright and all of that stuff. So I'll I'll investigate that later. But it was one that had to do with, I guess, a girl that was, and I have to use certain words like unalived and things of that nature. Um, but because of online dating. So she met someone online. And I wanted to do that one because that seems to be a popular way that people think that they can meet other people, is through dating apps or doing things online. But there's a danger that comes along with that too. And I've seen a lot of true crime stories where people have met somebody online and it did not go well with them at all. So, um, but then when I saw that was on A&E, I was like, let me kind of wait on that. And then I saw this title and it made me think, okay, so here we have like probably like a non-imposing or self-assuming, Sunday school teacher, right? And how did she go from that to death row? So, my interest is in the psychology of this. Like, what happened? Like, was this a facade that she was always carrying, or like what was the situation that made her go into that direction of unaliving somebody? And that's crazy too if you claim to be a churchgoer and all of this stuff. Of course, we don't talk about religion on my channel, but I'm just saying, I mean, because this is her background. So how did she go from that to unaliving somebody? So let's check this out. If any of you, let me see, in the description, let me see if it says anything about this lady, but it doesn't seem to be. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna find out on our own just from watching the situation. So all right, uh, let's go ahead and full screen this and let's see what this is all about.
When a Sunday school teacher reports a robbery, police begin an investigation that exposes a horrifying secret. As the investigation deepens, it reveals a crime so disturbing, it would scar the city of Tracy forever. This video footage of 8-year-old Sandra Cantu was recorded just minutes before she went missing from the trailer park where she lived with her mother. Sandra was loved by everyone in this community, and she would spend her days running around the park and playing with the other children.
Wow. Okay. So I did not I thought this was like adult on adult. So again, how does a Sunday school teacher, and I'm assuming that this was probably one of her own students. That's crazy. Okay. So this happened back in 2009. So right from the get-go, R.I.P. Sandra Cantu, and condolences to the entire family and community that has suffered this loss since 2009 till now.
The police had no leads as to where the child was, but then they received a call about a suitcase that a passerby had found at the edge of a stream. Inside the suitcase, investigators found Sandra's body. The police had no clue as to who the killer was, but then Sunday school teacher Melissa Huckabee, who lived a few trailers down from Sandra, reported that a suitcase had been stolen out of her vehicle. The police immediately asked her to come in for an interview.
I had some photos I want to show you. One of your suitcases was missing or something, or what was it?
Was stolen.
Was stolen?
Yeah.
And it was stolen the same day that Sandra went missing?
Yeah.
Did you report it stolen?
I had called before we even had found out that Sandra was gone. When I got to the church, my grandma called me. Then I asked her where my suitcase was, if she could run outside and check, because it dawned on me that I didn't have it, because after I unloaded everything out of my car. And she went outside and looked, and she was on the phone with me and said it wasn't out there.
And this is what I mean, guys. So she knows what she did, and she's just nonchalantly making up this story, trying to pull the wool over the investigator or detective's eyes. And she's just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And by the way, if the suitcase had the unalived person in it, why would you report the suitcase missing on the day that you did that deed? That doesn't even make sense. That automatically puts you on the radar. So she obviously is not the sharpest crayon in the box. Okay. Let's keep on going. But notice how nonchalant she is about this. And again, let's remember what her profession is. That's the scary thing in today's world. You really can't trust a lot of people.
And then she looked in the house and it wasn't there either. So then I told her, I asked her if she thinks that I should make a report, and she said, yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that's been missing in the park, like things that get stolen.
Like thefts and stuff?
Oh yeah. My grandpa's tools have been, all of his nice tools were just stolen out of his shed. And
you know, your daughter, I guess, was pretty close, right? And you presented to your daughter, Madison, was really, really close with Sandra, and we're trying to, you know, talk to as many people as we can to help us out in this investigation, you know. And so we, you know, just plain putting it out there, we need your assistance in however way you can help us in figuring this whole thing out and figuring, you know, what happened and that kind of thing. So I want to show you a picture of two different pieces of luggage. One's a black suitcase, and one's like another piece that possibly could go with it or something like that. Okay. So tell me if you recognize either one of these or if they look like yours. Take a look at this one right here.
I have that one.
Okay, that's one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The detective shows Melissa a picture of the exact suitcase Sandra was found in, and she confirms that it does belong to her.
Did you buy it by itself, or did you buy it with other pieces?
I bought each item separately. Okay. That one, to be honest with you, I don't remember if I bought that because they were all on clearance.
Mm-hmm. And again, the picture that he's showing her literally has the physical body inside of it. And she, knowing that she put that body in there, she's like, oh yeah, I bought it separately, blah, 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 blah. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild that she could be like so nonchalant And again, we're talking about what was she, 8 or 9 years old? You have got to be, um, what is it, a sociopath where they don't have a conscience? I'm not sure if it's the right word, but there's no way that you could be a Sunday school teacher, do a heinous act like that, and then act like nothing's happened and not and say that you have a conscience. She cannot have a conscience. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Let's keep going.
All right. Nobody's found it yet so far?
Nope.
Nobody's told you in the park that they saw it or anything like that?
Mm-mm. I asked a bunch of the kids that I knew that were...
Investigators found it strange that she reported a missing suitcase on the same day Sandra went missing, but they had no evidence proving she was involved, so Melissa was allowed to leave. Later that night, the community held a vigil to show support for Sandra. During the event, Melissa approached an officer who was attending and presented him with a note she said she found on the sidewalk. The note claimed that Sandra was put into a suitcase, thrown into the water, and it gave the location of the suitcase. What's interesting is the police had not yet revealed that Sandra's body had been found. This raised a red flag with the detective who had initially interviewed her, so he asked her to come back in for a second interview the next day. Melissa begins by telling the detective that she went to school for criminal justice.
Wait a minute. Did she say she found that note? Hold on a second. What just happened?
Held a vigil to show support for Sandra. During the event, Melissa approached an officer who was attending and presented him with a note she said she found on the sidewalk. The note claimed that Sandra was put in...
Okay, she definitely is not the sharpest tool in the shed. So now she's going to present... So she just does not know how to cover up her crime, does she? So she absolutely deserves... to get caught for sure. But so not only does she report the suitcase missing on the day that she did the deed and that the suitcase was found, excuse me, but then at the vigil, she's going to allegedly claim to have found the note just out of nowhere and then take it to the police? What?
Into a suitcase, thrown into the water, and it gave the location of the suitcase. What's interesting is the police had not yet revealed that Sandra's body had been found. This raised a red flag with the detective who had initially interviewed her, so he asked her to come back in for a second interview the next day. Melissa begins by telling the detective that she went to school for criminal justice.
Fullerton College for criminal justice for 2 years.
When was that?
That was when I just got out of high school in 99.
You graduated in 99?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a little bit older than you. I'm not going to tell you that. You said 99.
Well,
seriously? So again, not only is she nonchalant, but not like she's in there like laughing. We're talking about the unaliving of an 8-9-year-old beautiful little girl. What a psychopath. Sociopath, psychopath? I'm not quite sure. Maybe both. Because I got to look up the difference between the definitions of them. But wow. Just that laugh. Did that not just give you like a vibe of evil?
mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a little bit older than you. I'm not going to tell you that.
What a
You said 99.
Well, you don't look older. So.
Yeah. No. You're not married
Psychopath.
anymore, right?
No.
So where does Madison's dad live, your ex-husband?
I think it's Topeka, Kansas. He became violent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, peace out.
Well, it's probably better if, you guys, if their relationship wasn't
The
functional, I
irony.
guess. But what were you doing ride-alongs for?
I was interested in becoming patrol.
Oh, becoming a cop?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to do forensics, but I wanted to be a patrol officer first.
What made you give that up?
I was assaulted by an off-duty police officer.
Really?
After spending about 20 minutes making small talk, the detective decides it's time to get down to business. He realizes that Melissa is interested in forensic science, but what he doesn't know is that Melissa used that knowledge to try and hide the horrifying thing she did to Sandra. Starting with the suitcase, the detective will continue uncovering shocking evidence that will eventually lead to an even more shocking confession.
I just want to talk to you about the suitcase and what you know about Sandra and that whole thing. So when did you remember that you didn't have your suitcase?
When my grandmother called me from the home to the church.
You said when you came home, or you said you told me that you called somebody about your suitcase missing or something like that, right?
Yeah, I called from the church.
I think I wrote that. Who did you call?
I called the police department.
Tell me about how your daughter Madison and Sandra met. Is it through the trailer park?
Yeah.
How long have they been friends? Tell me about their relationship.
They've been friends since we first moved down there.
Okay, so I was thinking maybe it was somebody from her Sunday school, or maybe it was, but obviously it's even before that. So the little girl was friends with her little girl, and they all lived in the same trailer park. Okay. All right, I'm trying to get this together here. Again, she's nauseating me after that whole laugh that we just.
She came by and asked if my daughter could play, and
Sandra came by?
yeah,
Okay.
she's always walking around the park all the time.
How often does Sandra and your daughter play together?
Pretty much almost every day.
Almost every day?
Yeah.
Did you hear that little laugh again? Yeah, almost every day. Wow. Okay.
Did they play together on the 27th, the day that she went missing?
No, she came by right after school had ended.
Mm-hmm.
She came by and asked if Madison could play.
Mm-hmm.
And Madison answered the door, and I was going to the restroom. And she just said, "Can you play?" And I yelled out, "No."
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter said no. And I was coming out, and I saw my daughter close the door, and I saw Sandra walking down the steps.
When did you first find out that Sandra was missing? Who told you, and what time was that on that day?
I'm used to having her, like, somebody come over and say, "Is Sandra here?" Because they're looking for her. And I think that was around 7 o'clock, a little bit before.
So pretty much right when you got home, someone came looking for her?
Maybe like 20 minutes. I'm so bad with times.
Okay. No, that's understandable. I mean,
Melissa explains that her daughter and Sandra were friends, and they would spend a lot of time together. Eventually, the detective decides it's time to talk about the note that Melissa found.
and then what did you see?
And then I saw like a little paper on the ground, and I just kicked at it, and it had some like dirt on it, and I saw the word Cantu on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like picked it up and I looked at it, and it said Cantu, said suitcase, but I think it was misspelled. This is something, and I ran to the police officer and I told them that they were at the front entrance.
And
so I ran to the police and I told them I was
did you take the note with you, or did you?
No, I left it there.
You just dropped it?
Yeah, because I know, like, fingerprints. Told them that I saw the note and they were asking what it said, and I was trying to.
She's incriminating herself because, like, she already talked about her going to school, wanting to go to school for forensics and all of that stuff. So she knows, she just mentioned about, like, the fingerprints. See? And it's like, she's basically telling them, yeah, I know how to hide my crime. Like, she is definitely not bright at all.
No, like, fingerprints. Told them that I saw the note and they were asking what it said, and I was trying to, like, tell them, but I could barely even breathe. And I remember I sat down right where the mailboxes were, and they were waiting for somebody to come to flip it over, and they were trying to calm me down, and because I was like hyperventilating. And
when a murder suspect emphasizes how shocked they were when they learned the victim was dead, it's rarely accidental. In interrogation psychology, this is a deliberate narrative move meant to steer how the detectives perceive them. Melissa wants the detective to know how devastated she was when she found the note, but he isn't buying her lies.
So
you were pretty upset?
Oh, I was hysterical.
Because she's not showing any sign of being upset as she's retelling the story. If she was that physically upset, allegedly, that physically upset upon hearing the situation, upon finding the note and the whole 9 yards, she would have a physical response as well right now as she's telling the story. And that's psychological, because it would trigger a memory. It would be like a traumatic event. But she's just nonchalant and and giggling, and I mean, so yeah, the detective, he knows. He knows.
Brian,
Yes.
you were?
Yes.
All right. And then where did you guys go after that? Who took the note?
house.
Did you keep the note or did
No. They
What
took
happened
it.
to the note?
They got like a evidence bag and they put it in that.
Did the note say something about a suitcase?
Yeah, it said Cantu, suitcase, water, and then 2 different names.
Was it upsetting you that you found the note, or what was upsetting you?
It was what upset me was the fact that she was gone and it had been so long, and also that note, and just like the thought of something happening to Sandra, it just like really upset me.
When you saw it, was it face down or was it face up?
It was face up.
It was face up?
Mm-hmm.
And you said it's the Cantu part that caught you?
Yeah, when it said Cantu.
What did you think when you saw it?
I thought I just was sick to my stomach. I thought like,
Okay, so if all she saw was the word Cantu, why would that in itself make her sick to her stomach? That doesn't make sense. She's incriminating herself again.
I thought I just was sick to my stomach. I thought like this was something that the police needed to know because maybe that was where she was. Then afterwards, I'm like, why would somebody write a note? Is it somebody that saw my suitcase being stolen? But why would they not say something? What would they have to hide? So, I mean, that was like afterwards. But I mean, when I got down to the part where it said in stolen suitcase.
Did you find that kind of weird that your suitcase was stolen the day before?
Yeah.
And that note was talking about a stolen suitcase?
Yes.
And did that trip you out or what were you?
Yeah.
What was your thought?
That it really tripped me out because it's like that's kind of a weird coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too when I read it. When it was first shown to me, I thought that's kind
And
of
then
weird.
the fact that I find it, of course, that was like kind of bizarre to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
How I said, well, my suitcase is waterproof, so I hope that, you know, she's okay, and I hope they go and try and find her. And
Who wrote this note?
I have no idea.
Who do you think wrote this note? I mean, if you had to speculate or estimate, or
Looks like a kid wrote it.
why do you think a kid wrote it?
Well, because it's misspelled and the penmanship, and then we just had the visual. I mean, looking back, maybe somebody at the visual maybe knows something, or maybe the person that did it maybe had a guilty.
Is she trying to pin it on another child? Is she trying to say, oh, look at the penmanship and the misspelling? Obviously, it was a kid that wrote this note, so obviously it was a kid that did the crime. What? Oh my God, this woman is just incorrigible.
Maybe the person that did it maybe had a guilty conscience or something.
Hours before Melissa's
You mean something that you yourself do not have, clearly? Wow.
Maybe had a guilty conscience or something.
Hours before Melissa's second interview, the police department would have a press conference where they would make it known that Sandra's body had been found. The detective shows Melissa a picture of the suitcase Sandra was found in to confirm it was her suitcase.
Do you find it ironic that you found it and your suitcase was gone? Was that just kind of trippy to you?
Yeah, that was very trippy to me.
And you've never found your suitcase to this point?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen a picture of the suitcase that Sandra's found it?
Have I seen a picture of it? Just like the aerial view and like an up close one on my phone that my mom had sent me.
I'm showing you. This is the suitcase.
That's the
Right
suitcase that you guys found? That looks like my suitcase.
And this is that little pond or irrigation area. That's the side of the, like, I don't know, bank or dirt that she was found in.
Makes me nauseous. A picture makes me sick to know that she's in there.
You know, help me understand how Sandra Cantu ends up in your suitcase.
Well, my thinking is that somebody stole my suitcase and used that to put her in, obviously. to hide
Why?
her in. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if she was, which I hate to even think about her even being or assaulted or anything like that, beaten, or, I mean, just the thought of her being in the water, if she drowned or if she was dead when she was put in the suitcase. All those thoughts run through my head, and that makes me sick.
Most of what Melissa says is meant to manipulate the detective. She mentions that she hopes Sandra wasn't violated. The reason for this is she wants to make sure the investigators check the body for any signs of assault. The police found a rolling pin at the church that was covered in Sandra's DNA. An autopsy was done on Sandra's body, and it came back that she had been assaulted. It appeared that Melissa had used the rolling pin to try to make it look like a male had abducted her.
Wait a minute. Did she use a rolling pin to physically hit her or to, in an S way, violate her? I don't think I understood that. Hold on. Let me just back up a little bit.
An autopsy was done on Sandra's body, and it came back that she had been assaulted. It appeared that Melissa had used the rolling pin to try to make it look like a male had abducted her.
Why would someone take Sandra? Why? I mean, you have a little girl. Your little girl's 5.5. I got 3 boys, younger than yours and a 6-year-old. But why would someone take a little kid?
Disgusting things.
Disgusting like what? Tell me.
Like, disgusting them, or
Why?
because they're sick perverts.
Do you think Sandra was assaulted in a sexual manner?
I would say yeah, because the only reason why I would say that.
Okay, she's definitely saying that to throw them off track from her, but an innocent person wouldn't have even said that. An innocent person would literally be like, I don't know. I mean, how would I know? You know what I mean? So for her to say, yeah, probably, and she's not doing a good job of being convincing, and she's not doing a good job of what's the word, leaving the trail away from her. Is she still keeping that trail right at her? I mean, this detective is not stupid.
That would be because why else would somebody take a little girl?
That's what I've been asking myself for 2 weeks.
Why else? Why would they take an innocent? I mean, you saw
Why
the
would they
picture
just
of
take?
her.
Why would they just take a 20-year-old and assault them and put them in a suitcase? Why would they take and then why would they use your suitcase? Or if it is your suitcase, I mean, it looks like your suitcase, and
Right.
you know.
I mean, some sickos will take a young child because maybe they can't have a child of their own, and for whatever reason, they're just psychologically broken, and something causes them to take someone else's child, and then they try to literally raise them as their own. I mean, obviously, you know, most people will get away with it, um, or at least in the olden days before DNA and all that kind of stuff. But if they took a baby, because the baby would have like no memory of being taken from a family. So I've seen some stories like that. But um, for her to say like, oh well, it has to be an SA situation, S assault. Yeah, she's full of crap.
Why would they take your suitcase to do it, and why Sandra? Why not? Why not these other girls at the park?
I think it was just an opportunity of convenience to me. I mean, my personal opinion.
The other thing the autopsy revealed was that Sandra had been drugged prior to being killed. What investigators found interesting is that Melissa is prescribed the same medication that was found in Sandra's body.
Hypothetically, what would happen if she took one of your Xanaxes?
She would be asleep.
It just knocks you out?
Yeah, my dosage is 2 milligrams.
What do you think that'd do to a little kid if they took it by accident, like if they picked it up off the floor or something like that?
It'd be very dangerous.
Really?
Very dangerous. That dosage, yeah. They would.
Okay, so that's even crazy. I mean, come on. Come on. The child was found in her suitcase. She called on the very day that she was found. She finds the letter, allegedly, at the vigil and turns it over to the police. And then her medication just happens to have been given to the child before being unalived. So this woman, I cannot
be falling all over the place.
Really?
Oh, definitely. I've always worried about Sandra actually, when she was a baby. They would let her walk around by herself. And she actually...
So she knew her when she was a baby? So this is, I mean, whether, okay.
Sandra actually, when she was a baby. They would let her walk around by herself. And she actually came over and was talking to my grandpa when she was little. She was probably like 4. And said...
For who?
Sandra, when she was about 4 years old.
How did you find that out?
My grandparents
He told
me.
you about that? But you weren't living there then, right?
No.
They just told you about that?
Yeah, that she was always wandering around when she was like 4 years old. And...
In the park?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
You want to hear my theory?
Sure.
I think the person, whoever it is, knew Sandra, like what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sandra was available, meaning she's here, there, everywhere in that park. She loves that park. She has friends, and I think her mom thought that she was out playing. I don't think her mom was sure where she was playing, and I think someone who knew her and had to know her pretty well, because everybody I talked to at that park, and I've talked to everybody, told me that Sandra wouldn't leave that park. And you told me that the other day. You said she would not leave that park, right?
Nope.
But there's only a few people that she'd ever leave her mom said there's only a few people that she'd leave the park with. She said she'll go with you to the park. She'll leave with you because, her and your daughter are best friends. She was comfortable with going to other people's houses. But as far as leaving the park, she said, besides Madison's mom, who she plays with all the time, like you said, there's really no one besides her family, her aunt and uncles and stuff, that she'd leave the park with, nor her mom would allow them to leave the park with.
Right.
But she left that park, and that's why we couldn't find her. She left that park.
The detective begins to imply that Melissa is a suspect. Up to now, Melissa's body language appears to be very comfortable, but as she realizes she's becoming a suspect, her body becomes more defensive.
Couldn't figure out how she...
I'm wondering what her body language is going to be. Like, I wonder if she's going to sit up, cross her legs, if she's going to fold her arms. Usually there are certain behaviors physically that show anxiety.
People don't disappear. You know what I'm saying? People do not disappear. So I had to figure, okay, she saw somebody she knows, she got in their car, and she just...
Bingo! The repositioning, the crossing of the legs.
Just took off. That's what I think happened.
The crossing of the arms. Bingo. Bingo. And Bingo was his name. Oh. This woman. Okay. So, and listen, a profiler and a detective will know, because, they do this on a day-to-day basis, right? With these psychopaths. So, the way that she went from this position, just like that shows her guilt immediately. Of course, you have to prove everything, but...
People don't disappear. You know what I'm saying? People do not disappear. So I had to figure, okay, she saw somebody she knows, she got in their car, and she just took off. That's what I think happened, is someone who she knew took her out of the park. About the time she's last seen in the park, or in the mobile home park, is about the time that you leave. Here's my theory on the note, is what we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wrote this note wanted us, the police, to find her, because they gave us a clue. They would give us a clue. It was there for a reason, the note was. And there's a reason why you found it. And there's a reason why you gave it to us, because you wanted to help us find her. And we appreciate that, and that's why I've been talking to you about your suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason that only you're the one that found it.
Yeah, I don't know why there would be a reason why I'd be the one to find it.
Well, I'm asking you, why do you think you're the only one that found this note? And then that same day you came back after you found it, picked it up and looked at it, and then came back real quick, and it was still there, even though it was kind of wet, it didn't blow away. But do you find it ironic that you found that note? Nobody else found it?
Yeah, I do. To be honest, I do feel it.
And do you find it ironic that it talked about a stolen suitcase, and your suitcase was stolen?
There are certain phrases that perpetrators will say, like, to be honest, is one of the things that they'll always say, because they want to give off the impression that they're being honest. They think that they're playing a psychological game, but they're playing it with people who have been trained in psychology.
I do. To be honest, I do feel it.
And do you find it ironic that it talked about a stolen suitcase, and your suitcase was stolen?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I've thought about that too. I mean,
what have you thought about?
That's ironic.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it tells me in your studies of forensics or criminology or whatever you've done? What do you think my first thought is?
Do you think that maybe somebody knew that it was my suitcase because that's where I live, and then maybe put the note where I was? No?
No.
Okay. That's why I thought you were. Well, I don't know.
I think you're our witness.
You think I'm the witness?
Yeah, I think you're the person that can help us
if I wish.
answer these questions of who knows about who put Sandra in this stolen suitcase, your suitcase, and threw it in the water at this location. I need you to tell me where this note came from.
I honestly don't know where it came from.
See, I believe you do know where the note came from. No one else could have found this note. No one knew the note was going to be there.
And if I knew who wrote that note, or if I knew anything, like I've been talking to you guys.
When the police searched Melissa's home, they found a spiral notebook with pages torn out. They took the note Melissa found and compared it to her notebook, and not only was the paper an exact match, the police also found indentation of a couple letters in her notebook.
What an idiot. She should have gotten rid of that book to cover her trail. Oh my gosh. I mean, she literally, not only did she do the deed, but she also helped in the investigation to catch her. Wow, what an idiot.
That matched the letters written in the note. The detective will now present Melissa with his evidence.
I looked at that spiral notebook that we took.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple interesting things, not much, but a couple interesting things we found. One of the things that we found that I was interested in on your spiral notebook was that it looked like it was the same paper size. So I took your spiral notebook. You see this ruler here?
Mm-hmm.
We took your spiral notebook and we measured it, top to bottom, almost 7 inches. We put it up next to your spiral notebook and thought, okay, let's see if this note or this paper fits into.
Okay, so do you see the way that she's leaned in? That is also what a perpetrator will do to make it appear like they're interested in what the detective is saying, because they're feigning this what's the word? Like like I just said, they're trying to fake it. They're trying to give off the impression like that, like, yeah, I'm interested in what you're saying, kind of thing. And they all do that. That's just one of the behaviors. Oh my God, I just did this like, who in the White House. Anyways.
Your spiral notebook, exact same size. I took this piece of paper and I went through the spiral notebook and I took this piece of paper, and as I was going through your notebook, I was flipping through it and I saw this one page.
Legs crossed, leaned in, looking interested.
If I write really hard, can you see that T under it?
Of course.
Okay. I found this, but I found an N that wasn't written on. And I took the paper and I put it on it, and it covered up the N.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same design. I'm not kidding you. I'm being dead serious.
And I have no clue how. You've got to be joking around with me.
I'm not joking.
Somebody who went to college, and she says that she's clueless. Honey, stop acting. We know you did it.
Joking. I'm asking. That's why I went out there to get the picture to show you. I'm not joking around. I swear to you.
Well,
Melissa, I'm not kidding. I saw that. I go, oh my God. And I said, this came out of the notebook out of Melissa's house. Because we saw that N and we thought that was weird, because these N's are pretty distinctive. When you look at this note, every N, it's not different people that wrote this note. So let's measure the notebook. We measure the notebook. Let's measure the paper. Same kind of paper. It's spiral. We look at it, and then we take the paper, just like I think you would do.
Right.
You put it over the notebook, and it covers up the exact same pattern as the end.
Then that means that was the notebook that was written in.
Well, I can tell you why I think you wrote the note.
No kidding.
You told me why, but I didn't write the note. I'm telling you, I did not write the note.
Okay, so I suppose the tooth fairy just flew in there and like took it. I just decided to write that note in your house while the body is in your suitcase that you claim was stolen. Girl, you need to just quit. You know you've been caught.
But I've given Sandra and Miranda both one of those notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the only person who has one of those notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that you found that notebook in my house.
With the letter N indented that covers the letter N from the word throne on the exact same location of the paper, and this paper would fit right back in there, right above where the letter N is indented, and it would cover that up. It wouldn't be sitting in between these two words or anything like that. Same exact design, pattern, everything of that letter.
I don't know what to say as far as that goes, except that it's not. I didn't write that note.
The detective presents Melissa with a blown-up picture of a sticky note that they found in her car. Written on this sticky note was the location of Sandra's body. When she realizes they found the sticky note, Melissa claims that after she found the note that talked about where Sandra was, she wrote the location down on the sticky note and went to go look for Sandra.
I don't know why I didn't tell you that.
Well, let's talk about it. Why?
Well, because it's incriminating to me.
Possibly.
I mean, the suitcase
Mm-hmm.
mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to think that I did this to her because I didn't.
Let me ask you something.
I knew those names on that piece of paper. I remember them. And I went on the computer and I looked up street names. I went on a map and I looked on a map and I saw that those were two names. And then I saw that the cross street was that and I wrote it down on that notepad. So that's the only thing I swear that I've lied about. I'm sorry.
And so you went there after you found that note. Why did you go there?
To find her.
Why did you want to find her? Why?
Because she's missing.
What did you do when you got there?
I just saw the two cross streets. And I went down that road. And I didn't see anything, any water anywhere. But I didn't see any.
Again, these are crocodile tears. She's not even, well, actually, there are no tears. She's pretending to sniffle as if she's like physically upset from like this whole situation. She has shown no remorse. No, I mean, she's only shown physical defensive behavior. That's the only thing that she has shown throughout this entire interview.
Anything else.
Do you see anything that's the same in this note and that note? I see three letters that look the same. The W, look at this W, and look at this W, and look at the water. I think the person that wrote this note didn't want us to figure out who wrote the note, and they tried to change their handwriting.
But I did not write that note. I did write.
And the last thing I want to do is accuse someone of doing something wrong or, sick or whatever that didn't do it. I've spent the last pretty much 2 weeks of my life trying to figure this out. And I finally figured it out. But it took a lot of evidence for us to figure it out.
To tell you the truth, right now, I think I want a lawyer.
Let me see your first.
Bingo! That's when she knows she's caught. I mean, honestly, even if you are innocent, like if I was to be questioned by a cop on something that I didn't even have anything to do with, I would say I have no problem answering questions, but I need to be represented by attorney. I would do that just because for safety and self-protection. I mean, but when you don't do that, but then when the evidence unmistakably points to you and you say, okay, I need a lawyer, that's when you know you're guilty.
My life trying to figure this out. And I finally figured it out. But it took a lot of evidence for us to figure it out.
To tell you the truth, right now, I think I want a lawyer.
Let me see your purse real quick. You need to stand up.
Are you arresting me?
Yep. Turn around that way. Put your hands behind your back.
You're under arrest for murder and kidnapping.
What?
Melissa, you're under arrest. Okay.
I didn't do anything.
All right.
Melissa was arrested and put into a holding cell, but a few minutes later, she asked to speak with the detective again. Unfortunately, the first part of her second interview is audio only.
You said you had a video and you were going to show me before I told you I wanted a lawyer. I want you to show me or prove to me that I did it because I didn't do it. It was an accident.
I told you it was an accident. I know it was. Accidents happen.
Kill her. She just died.
I know it was an accident, and that's all I want to know. Why is it an accident? Tell me.
Sandra was walking down the road.
Who?
Sandra.
Okay.
And I saw her. Sandra was walking and she saw me. She came up to the car and I didn't know that she was there until I turned around.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw my suitcase, and my suitcase was inside of my car on the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you before, she likes to hide and play hide and go seek.
Mm-hmm.
She hid inside of there and I didn't know.
You're kidding me, right? So you mean to tell me that she's claiming that the little girl opened the suitcase? Wait a minute. How would she even be able to close the suitcase from the outside? Okay. Totally not making sense.
I had to go get my keys and my cell phone in the house because I couldn't find them. And then when I came out 15 minutes later, she wasn't there. She wasn't outside.
Where was she?
I didn't know. And then so I drove to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got out of my car and I took all my stuff out of the trunk. And I went in the church. I was there. And then when I came outside, I looked at my suitcase. And I went to take it out and it was heavy. And she was in there. And she wasn't breathing or anything.
What did she look like?
So that right there shows that she's a liar because she said that somebody stole her suitcase. So now we know the truth. You lied about that. But here's the thing. How would that little girl be able to close the suitcase completely from the inside? That would be impossible. Impossible. She's just incriminating herself even more. And by the way, she's not even really crying. She's faking it again.
She looked pale. I hear voices.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me.
What did your voices tell you?
Oh no, I hear voices. Is she trying to go for the insanity plea or something like that? Because, okay, I cannot with this woman.
That I killed her. I couldn't live with myself if I killed her.
Sandra didn't climb into that suitcase by herself and zip it up.
But she did.
No, she didn't. She didn't get in there by herself.
I know.
Tell me how she got in there.
She got in there by herself and then she told me to zip it up because she was going to scare Madison and Miranda. But when I went into the house, it was like
Okay, another lie, because she just said, just a little bit ago, that the little girl climbed in there, zipped herself up, and that she had no idea. And she went into the church and was like, la, 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 la. And then she came out and the voices told her. So now she's changing her story again. Sorry, honey, but you are caught in your lie, plus lie, plus lie.
half an hour. I forgot about her. I just thought that the girls would come out and that I was going to tell them to open the suitcase up.
If you locked somebody up in a suitcase, wouldn't you say, let me check on her in 5 minutes? You don't just forget that you locked somebody, like literally locked them into a suitcase. And especially when it's a child and you yourself happen to be a mother. Although I say that term loosely, I don't know how she's treating her child, but she is just full of crap.
And she was going to jump out and scare him. I didn't know she couldn't breathe in there.
How is she going to jump out to scare anybody if she's zipped up all the way? She would have had to have like unzipped it a little bit for her to be able to jump out of there. Another hole in the story.
I swear. Nobody did her.
You know what happens when we get people, right? When they're dead, we go take
Take
them
an
to an autopsy.
autopsy, of course.
And what do you think we're gonna do with the little girl who's found in a suitcase?
Check for that.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I said that before was to steer you away. But I'm telling you the God's honest truth that she was not.
She was too. We got our evidence back, but she wasn't by a guy.
No, that's just sick. I didn't, sir. I swear. The only thing I never told you was that I had gotten the cup of water and put a whole bunch of my pills in it
Mm-hmm.
and tried to make them dissolve and put a whole bunch of my pills in it.
A whole bunch of my pills? Those were Xanaxes. You're going to put a whole bunch of them to have them dissolve and give them to the child? Well, by the way, in the interview earlier, she even said herself that that's dangerous. It would be dangerous to the child. And now she's admitting that she took a bunch. She's just said a whole bunch of them.
I had gotten the cup of water and put a whole bunch of my pills in it
Mm-hmm.
and tried to make them dissolve. And then I took a drink and I spit it because it was disgusting tasting.
Where'd you spit it at?
It landed on her.
Landed on her?
Yeah.
Where at?
I don't know, inside the suitcase.
This does not make sense either. So she's inside the suitcase, which, by the way, you said you forgot that she was even in it, and it's zipped up all the way. And while she's in the suitcase, and by the way, is it still in the car? But how would you be able to spit on her if she's inside the suitcase?
Inside the suitcase while she was in there?
Like on the bottom part, like by where her feet were.
Melissa tries to explain how her medication was found in Sandra's system, but, like everything else she is saying, it's obviously a lie. Now
big
that they have
fat
her
lie.
confession, they have to show that she intentionally murdered Sandra. They already have evidence showing Melissa drugged her, but they also found an article she saved on her computer about a similar case.
We found an article on one of the computers, I'm not sure which one, but it was about a 4-year-old girl that was arrested by her grandfather and put in a suitcase in Israel. And she was found in a body of water 2 weeks later.
That's weird. Because I did that. You could ask my grandma.
Who would have researched that? I told you nothing's going to change the outcome now. I'm just searching for some answers. I can get you the article. We printed it out. But it was kind of weird. It was kind of similar to this case.
Everything I did right now is what I told you.
I got a hard time believing that Sandra wouldn't try to fight her way out of that suitcase when she was in there in the back of your car.
Yeah, I mean, it's like lie after lie after lie. If you've been caught in this lie, you've changed your story multiple times. You really expect the detective to believe that you're telling the truth now, and she's still got that same defensive posture. You know, she's leaned in, she's got her hands crossed. Come on now.
You forgot?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm positive. One thing I want you to know is I did not her.
How do you feel now? Worse or better?
Worse.
Worse? Did you feel like it was something that you had to get off your chest?
Yeah.
So how'd you get her to get in the suitcase?
She wanted to get in there, and she told me that she wanted to hide in there and scare the girls, and because I told her that Miranda was in the house.
But you were getting ready to leave to go to the church. You said you're in a hurry, so why would you let her get in the suitcase?
Just because she was going to scare the girls.
Did you go back in the house and get the girls after she got in the suitcase?
I was going to. And when I went there and I was looking for my car keys.
And you couldn't find them?
Uh-uh.
Did you really not find your car keys, or did you purposely leave those keys there with your purse or your
Cell phone? No, I really couldn't find my car keys or my cell phone. My cell phone's always like attached to me. It's like glued to me. I never leave anywhere without it.
Why didn't you just call 911?
I was panicked. I don't know why.
Did you not want Sandra to be alive?
No, I wanted her to be alive, but I knew she was dead. My God, I'm a freaking psychopath.
Oh, the first truthful thing that she has said. Wow. But here's the thing, they haven't even said a motive yet. Like, it's crystal clear that she did it, but why? I mean, we have, like, literally 2 minutes left of this. What is the motive?
What if I told you someone saw you leave the complex on video with her sitting in the car?
I would say that that's not true.
What if I could go get him for you right now?
I would say bring it on, because I know for a fact that she was not in the front or in the back seat of my car.
Where was she when you drove down?
She was in the suitcase.
Who assaulted her?
I don't know.
Someone did. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to make this any worse than it is.
Oh, I know.
Someone assaulted her. If it wasn't you, it was someone else. The problem is you're probably going to get stuck with it at trial.
I hope not, because I didn't do it. I have no reason
But
to.
you did everything.
Do you see how calmly she's even, like, trying to deny, like, S-ing that little girl? She's like, what if she says, like, oh, well, I hope not because I didn't do it. I mean, if somebody accused me of something like that, I would be like, oh my God, no, that's disgusting and gross. No. You know what I mean? Like, she's just, and her arms are crossed and she's leaned in. So all the physical signs are there.
At trial.
I hope not, because I
hope
didn't
not,
do it.
because I didn't
No
do
reason
it.
But you did everything
I have
else
no
by
reason
yourself.
to.
No one was at the church.
You know.
Maybe you, for a minute, because the world was spinning, and it would have been for me too, that you thought, you know what, if I can pin this on a guy, I'm not going to be responsible for this. Did you expect to get caught at some point?
I was expecting to turn myself in.
Did you realize it was close?
Yeah, I knew when the police on the news, when they said that they were going to make an arrest, I was waiting at the house.
You understand what's going to happen now, right? You're going to have to go to our jail. You understand that?
Yeah.
In the end, Melissa was charged with kidnapping, first-degree murder, and
Notice her dry face. And I don't mean the dry expression, but she is not sorry or remorseful, except for the fact that she got caught and she's going to prison. There is not a tear, and her eyes aren't even red. Ugh, I cannot with this evil woman.
in the end, Melissa was charged with kidnapping, first-degree murder, and assault. Realizing that she was about to get the death penalty, Melissa accepted a plea deal where prosecution would drop the
Oh, time was not kind to her. But, okay, so she took a plea deal so that she wouldn't get the you-know-what penalty.
Realizing that she was about to get the death penalty, Melissa accepted a plea deal where prosecution would drop the assault charge in exchange for her guilty plea. Melissa was sentenced to the rest of her life in prison. As for the reason why she did it, only Melissa knows.
Oh.
There are many theories, the main one being Melissa was an attention seeker and she loved to be at the center of any drama. Melissa may have killed Sandra to create a situation where she would receive attention. Another theory is Melissa saw how loved Sandra was
Yeah, I don't think the first one makes sense to me, but
by the community, and it made her jealous. I'd love to hear what you think her motive was, so please share it in the comments below.
okay, so the second one sounds a little bit more probable, but I don't know. It's got to go deeper than that. Hold on. Let me just kind of take this off now, but what do you guys think? Not about her or but I mean, what do you guys think the motive is or the motive was? And for the sake of, if she really was remorseful, she would have said the reason why she did what she did. But she's just evil that she's even clinging to the motive and not letting the parents have closure. And their children were like best friends. So it's so for her to like even keep the motive, I mean, to not take responsibility and said, yes, I did it and this was the reason why. Give the parents that kind of closure, but at least the parents, I mean, it's a shame that they even gave her a plea deal. it's a shame. Um, I know we don't get it, I don't get into politics or anything like that, but I will say, um, I'm not against that penalty. She's a Sunday school teacher. She knows that in the Old Testament, that was also one of the punishments, depending on the crime. But, anyways, again, her, wait a minute, her name, the little girl at the beginning, it mentioned her name, right? But it's Melissa, right? No, no, no. Melissa is the perpetrator. But hold on one second, because okay. Needless to say, hold on one second, because I know that they showed a picture of her face and then it had like her name. Where was that?
When a Sunday school teacher reports a robbery, police begin an investigation that exposes a horrifying secret. As the investigation deepens, it reveals a crime so disturbing it would scar the city of Tracy forever. This video footage of 8-year-old Sandra Cantu was recorded just minutes before she went missing from the trailer park where
Okay,
she lived with her
Sandra was her
mother.
name.
Sandra was loved by everyone
we
in this
go. This is the
community,
picture I was
and she
looking
would
for.
spend her days running around the park and playing with the other children.
Okay, so once again, I just want to say, rest in peace, Sandra, and condolences to the family and to the community who are still grieving this day. You don't lose a child like that and then it goes away. That was a traumatic thing for the family and for the community. So my condolences go to them. So I'm going to go ahead and end this reaction. Let me know in the comment section if you liked this reaction to a true crime story. Let me know if you live in the area and if you know her family, or let me know your opinion too on what you think the motive was. Do you think that it was out of jealousy? Do you think that it goes something deeper than that? Um, but let me know. So I'm gonna put hold on one second. I am gonna put the link to the original video in the link to Red Tree Crimes YouTube channel. And then if you like this reaction, then I hope that you will press like and subscribe. I hope that you will press the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I put an upload up. And then yeah, if you'd like to make a request for a true crime, here's a Buy Me a Coffee QR code. It'll take you to the Buy Me a Coffee site, or in the comment section will be a pinned comment, and there'll be a PayPal and a Buy Me a Coffee link there. And so this is my first introduction to true crime reaction on my channel. I've been doing music reactions, but after this, I'm also going to record and I definitely need it now, a comedy reaction. And so hopefully the comedy will take me out of like the mindset of like this horrible situation. But again, R.I.P. to Sandra. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you in the next reaction, whether it's to music, true crime, comedy. Well, actually, it will be comedy in the next one. So I'll see you there.